Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unsuck Your Sales series. Brittany Young here, executive sales coach for female financial experts, helping them close more sales using my signature method called the permission process. And today, I wanted to talk about a big win for one of my clients who was able to sign her own 18K contract after one sales call. Now, I'm just over the moon. This is a huge win for this client. And in the process of signing this 18K client, my client has decided to do a couple things for her business in order to replicate this process over and over and over again. So when she signs the next key client, she's going to, switch things up and make it more so like this one, repeating this process over and over because she can. So I just wanted to dive in as to what happened, how this came about, why it's important, and what you can do in order to make this happen for you inside your business. So my client went to a conference in her particular niche. She is a marketing coach, consultant, and podcast coach, which is a really cool niche to be in. And she specifically targets those that need help with marketing. So marketing their podcasts, marketing their services, and so on. And she went to this conference, she spoke at the conference, and she said that one of the women that saw her speak said, you know what, I've got a client for you. I think that they would be ideal for not only getting their podcast up and running, but they need help with marketing. So what do you say? Are you up for the job, up for the task? And so they made an exchange of information, and she got in touch with said client who was needing help. And said client just so happened to be in the real estate industry. Now, if you know anything about real estate, it's a very dog eat dog, very male dominated industry in which, it's every man for themselves. You have to do marketing on your own. You have to be able to not only stand out from your audience, stand out from the competitors, but stand out in the audience pool of being a real estate agent. So how are you going to do that? What are some creative ways that you can figure out how to do that specifically for this particular niche? Well, my client decided not only was she going to do her research on what it looked like to work with people in the real estate industry, because this is not an industry that she was familiar with herself. She also decided that she was going to give herself permission to play in a space of the unknown. And while also playing in the space of the unknown, she was going to double her rate of charging this particular client. So she went from charging $1,500 a month for this client to $3,000 a month to do their marketing as well as their podcast. Why? And why is this important? Well, we were on a call a couple weeks ago, I'd say 2 weeks ago. And one of the goals that my client had was to replace some income that was coming in from a contract that was about to expire, and the client was not going to renew. And my client also did not want to renew the contract. So we were looking at ways of how do we bring in more supplemental income outside of that contract, but in addition to, if it's, sticking around, right? This client is going to say yes to re-upping. This would be another chance for you to increase your income. Or how do we replace that income knowing that you might not offer them another contract, or they may not want to continue on working together. They graduated, they're satisfied, they're ready to move on and scale somewhere else. So during that conversation, we explored, what would it look like for you to take pricing from this to this, right? What would it look like for you to take pricing from 1,500 to, let's say, that 3K? We're doubling your pricing. Not only does it replace the current contract, but it also gives you a little bit more income and sustainability over the next amount of months. So this is a 6-month contract totaling an 18K that she received, client signed and paid. But during our conversation, it was, well, how do I go about, just doubling my pricing? Is that okay? Can I feel like I can do that without any problems? So what we did together was some emotional work around, does that feel safe to do? Are you open to the possibility of doubling your pricing? What happens when you do that? How does it make you feel? How do you think it's going to play out? Let's look at best case scenario. Let's look at worst case scenario. Let's play in all the possibilities, and also what's coming up in your stories, what's coming up in your limiting beliefs. Is there anything there? And if there is, let's see where we can shift that story or shift that limiting belief. So after we did those emotional check-ins, we then decided, okay, next client that's going to come along, pricing is going to be doubled. My suggestion to her, obviously, it worked out for her. My suggestion was also, can you duplicate this? Because once you increase your pricing for one client, there's a psychological shift that happens that when you increase pricing, chances are more clients are going to come with that next level of increase. So when she decides that the next client is going to step in and say yes to her, the new pricing is set. The new pricing will be given. So no longer will she be charging what is now old price, and fully stepping into the belief that now this is her new price and clients are going to be paying her the 3K every month. Now she's already bringing in income. Okay, this is somebody that's established in their business, has been working in their business for quite some time, knows her field, knows her expertise. This is not somebody that's just getting started in business or, not having income coming in. Consistent income is coming in. This is in addition to what she's already bringing in, which is really cool. I personally work with established business owners, in the financial arena, and also the female financial experts who have been in the business for 10 plus years who are looking to scale. This woman just so happens to be in marketing, who also is a marketer for financial experts as well. We needed some help with selling this package that was doubling her pricing. So, this is really important because once you establish your authority and your pricing, and you fully get behind that it's safe to charge more, it's comfortable for you to make that switch, chances are someone's going to then pay you double of what you were asking. Okay. You're also in a place where you can trust, right? We played the trust game. Do you trust that somebody is going to pay this next level of pricing? And the answer was yes. Now that takes a lot of conviction. That takes a lot of, stepping into believing that it's safe for somebody to come along and actually pay that price. So what you're hearing me say is a lot of this emotional work that we do behind the scenes with clients is critical to then the business strategy of then saying yes to doubling, saying yes to the next client, going out and, prospecting their way, going out and selling the way that they want. I did not say, hey, you must double your pricing or you're not going to get your next client. No, my client made the decision that she was going to double the price on said contract because that felt right for her. And she made the decision to do that, hence the sale. My job was to help her make sure that she felt confident enough to make that happen after one phone call, one call close. No more closing in 12 calls, 6 calls, 5 calls. Those days are gone. When you step into working with me, you are going to close sales calls in after 1 or 2 calls, preferably 1, because chances are you have a pre-qualification system in place. So what that means is you have questions that you ask somebody that comes into your world and you pre-qualify them. You find out whether or not they're fit to work with you. And there's more to just the questions, right? You're scanning them. You're understanding what their needs are. Can you fulfill the gap? Meaning, can you get them to where they want to go, knowing that you have the solution to their specific problem? After you receive the pre-qualification answers from them and you're getting on a phone call or a Zoom call or meeting them in person, do you know what specific sales questions to ask them in order to establish even further what that gap is? And do you know how to close in on what that gap is in their business? So for instance, with this client, the gap was, how do I stand out in my marketing? How do I get creative because I'm a real estate agent in a saturated market? How do I stand out? How do I put myself in a position that not only does my voice get heard, but people see me, said client, in my industry as an authority. And I don't want to use tactics or sleazy, ineffective ways of selling anymore the way that other agents are selling. So I need help, and I'm going to hire somebody, aka a marketer, to help me do that, right? This real estate agent is probably well-versed in selling, but not very well-versed in marketing themselves, which is why they hired my client. If you are struggling or in a place where, you don't know how to, 1, ask for the sale, or 2, know how to effectively communicate what it is that you offer to your clients. And I'm talking about during the sales process, okay? And I'll break that down in a second because your sales process is, in my opinion, about 6 different steps. And you're struggling to close clients because you don't know what to say when it comes to your offering. That's a problem. And that is something that I close a gap on. I help you create a very unique process. So the questions that you're asking on your sales calls, all the way to your onboarding, okay? But the process, sales process that I'm talking about, the areas in which, I would come in. So there's lead generation and there's marketing, being able to speak directly to your ideal clients. Those are not things that I'm specialty in. My specialty is from the 3rd step to the 6th step. So your pre-qualification process, okay? Now I can teach you how to speak to your people. I can teach you how to go get leads and teach you how to prospect. I'm just letting you know that it's not my area of expertise. My area of expertise is sales, helping you close deals. But without knowing how to close deals, if you're out there marketing or podcasting or what have you, but you don't know how to get on the phone to close a deal, that's a problem. Okay. You need an effective sales process in order for your marketing to be the thing that sells for you. You can do all the marketing in the world, but if you don't have an effective sales process, chances are you're not making any money. You're leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table and you're not closing any deals. You might here and there because of what you're saying in your marketing. But if you're not even putting yourself out there, no one knows who you are, you can't expect to just sell. You need an effective process. You're dealing with sophisticated buyers who are not new to the financial arena. They're not new. Okay. They're doing their own research. They're out there understanding what's going on in the market. And your job is to meet them where they're at and also empathize with them, build a relationship with them right off the bat, and then help them understand what their gaps are so that it's easy for you to close the deal, sign them up as a client, and start working with them. So my area of expertise is going to be your pre-qualification process, the questions, how to ask them effectively, what to ask, and why to ask what you're asking from an emotional standpoint, as well as a strategy standpoint. 2, your sales process questions, okay? Your sales script. So the questions that you are asking during a sales call, discovery session, strategy session, whatever you may call it. A lot of clients in my area of expertise call it a strategy session. So what are those questions that you're asking on that call? Are they effective? Are they establishing that gap? Are you finding out what the client needs in order for you to help them? Okay, can you solve their specific problem? Are you the person? Are you the solution to what's going on in their financial situation? Okay. And then how do you present the offer of what you do while you're on your sales call? That's really critical. So one of the key things that this client was able to do was not only increase pricing, but really get clear on exactly what she was going to be offering to this client. Okay. And it was a very simple, very strategic, but very simple. And she helped the client understand based on what the client was saying to her, reflected it back and said, you know what? This is what I'm hearing you say. This is what you need. Here's how I fill this gap. Here's the price. What do you think? Being able to confidently present that and not shy away, not lean out from the sale is critical to you closing the deal. And last but not least, when you either are facing objections or not facing objections and onboarding the client, knowing exactly how to do that, how to communicate that piece when it comes to the sale is really important as well. So that's kind of the last piece of expertise where I come in. So we've got pre-qualification, your actual sales call, what to say, how to close the deal by communicating what it is that you offer, and excuse me, and then that onboarding piece. Again, I can help you with lead generation, I can help you with marketing, but my sole focus is that length of that sales process, all in one call close. You should already be marketing to your ideal clients. You should already be building relationships with them through lead generation, having conversations, whether it's on the phone, in person, direct messenger, Slack, whatever you're using as form of communication prior to selling. But if you do not have the right questions to ask, or the right process, or in even the order of the questions to ask when you're on a sales call, and then being able to present what it is that you do on your call, you're not going to close the deal. And that's why clients are hiring me. They're stuck. They've been doing this for a decade and they've hit a wall. They've hit a wall because their buyers are continuously researching, do you know anything about Bitcoin? Do you know anything about crypto? Do you know anything about this investment or this annuity or, long-term care solutions? Can you help me with my bookkeeping because I'm stuck? I need to file taxes under an S corp. I'm stuck. Or I just became one and I don't know what it's supposed to look like to file taxes anymore. When I did it as an LLC and I did it myself and I got audited, right? These are the questions that your clients are coming to you and asking for help with, and you know how to specifically solve those problems. My job is to help you close the deals by asking the specific questions on how to close the gap for the clients. So if you're struggling with that and you don't know what to ask, and on the flip side of that, you're not feeling confident, you're, struggling emotionally, you don't feel as if you can even step in and actually claim the fact that you are selling, it's sleazy, it feels gross. You struggle building that relationship with that prospect, even during the sale. That's where a lot of people get it wrong too. That's where I can help you, because sales should not make you feel anxious, should be able to sell with ease, with confidence, with feeling like you can trust yourself to close the deal. So if this spoke to you, let's get on a call. It's a no pressure sales call, trying to figure out where you're at in your business, if I can be of help to you or not, and see where the gaps are going on in your own sales process, where you might be losing money or leaving money on the table, and find out where you need some help. Okay. So that's what I've got for you today. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, you can drop them here below in the Facebook comments, or if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to comment directly onto this video and let me know what you thought. And also, if you have questions there, please feel free to drop them below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.